I'm here to talk a little bit about clip-in hair extension hair today specifically. I know that I've experienced quite a few issues in the last year with hair extension hair. I've tried probably 6 or 7 different companies of different manufacturers, and every manufacturer will process hair differently, but I've experienced some similar issues with each of them. Specifically, over time it loses its shininess, it starts tangling, and it starts matting, and it's just becomes so unmanageable, and it makes me really frustrated. And I've used so many different hair products, leave-in conditioners, hair masks, leave-in treatments, oils, different shampoos and conditioners, and it doesn't really give it the result or bring the hair back to life in the same way it was in the condition when I opened the package the first day when I originally got the extensions. So the last set of hair extensions I've had, I've been really happy with its manageability and overall shininess, softness, tangle-free. It's, you know, and it hasn't matted at all. And I've been doing things a little bit different. The first thing that I've been doing is, I know I've mentioned this quite a few times in my other videos, is that I don't wash the hair, or in my last video, I don't wash the hair often at all. Every 4 to 6 weeks. That may seem like a long time, but the hair isn't really getting dirty. Maybe if you go out and it's like really windy and dusty outside and you feel like your hair has some grit or grime in it, then, you know, go ahead and wash it. But I don't wash it with shampoo. I only wash it with conditioner. So I'm getting it wet with lukewarm water. I'm applying the conditioner, leaving it in just, I don't know, maybe 30 to 60 seconds. And then I'm rinsing it out really well. So I know there's no greasiness left in the hair from the conditioner, and then letting it air dry. I'm not applying any leave-in conditioners, any oils, anything like that, and I'm having really good results. Now I'm going to share with you guys my opinion on why we're experiencing some of these issues with the hair as far as the tangling goes, and the losing the dullness, losing the shininess, losing the softness, and the manageability. Most of the hair extension hair comes from China and India. The hair in its raw form is very dark brown, if not sometimes black. Most of the hair is not donated in a very light, you know, condition. It's really dark, and so in order to lighten the hair, to lift the color out of the hair, the hair has to go through many different phases of lightening. It's not just like they put bleach on it and then they dye it and then that's it. It goes through many different stages of lightening. And because it goes through all these different stages, of course it gets damaged. If you know, went to the hairdresser and, you know, put peroxide on your hair 5 different times, your hair's gonna come out pretty dry and pretty damaged, and you know, we should expect the extension hair to be in a similar condition. So why, when we get it from the company, is it so shiny? Why is it so soft and so silky? Well, I think that it's because they're applying a silicone layer on the outside of the hair. And they're also removing the outer cuticle. Not the complete cuticle, but at least a couple layers. They are removing some of it. My son is in the background playing with my stereo, so I apologize, you guys. But anyway, so this, you know, when you get a hair that is this shiny, I don't know if you guys can see this. This is a hair extension quad weft that I got from Head Candy. So you can see, like, there's four wefts sewn onto this one piece, which is really cool. I haven't gotten to like do anything with it yet, but I just had it handy to show you guys what I'm talking about. Anyway, so it's really shiny. It's really soft. I can just run my fingers through it without any resistance at all. I mean, it's like super tangle free, and it's really manageable. It's a really nice hair. You know, but I think that it does have some silicone on it. Now, silicone, don't get scared when I say that. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but you have to realize, because it does have it on there, the more you wash it, the more you use products in it, the more you use hot tools on it, the more that silicone layer is going to be stripped away. And once the silicone layer is stripped away, then you're going to get a dullness in the color. You're going to get a lot of tangling, a lot of matting, and that's it. And so even like, you know, if you want to apply a dye on it, let's say, you know, you get this blonde hair and it's really not it's a little bit lighter than your natural color and you want to dye it, go ahead and dye it, but realize that even if you use a volume 10 developer, it does have some peroxide in it, and that the abrasiveness of the peroxide is going to be stripping away some of that silicone layer, you know, and that's just kind of the nature of it. So don't be afraid that there is silicone on it, but just be aware that the more you wash it and do all these different things to it, the more that's going to be stripped off, and you're going to shorten the lifespan of the extension hair itself. Okay, and another thing is Remy hair doesn't have the cuticle 100% intact. So if you take your hair in a vertical position like this, and you run your fingers down your hair, it feels really smooth and soft, okay? If you take your fingers at the base or the tips of your hair and you run them towards the roots up the other direction, it feels really rough. And, you know, it's really rough and there's a lot of friction by doing that. Now, take your hair extension hair and do the same thing. You run it down, it feels really smooth. You run it up the other direction going this way, and it still feels really smooth. It doesn't feel, you don't have the same amount of friction that your natural hair has in the extension hair. It feels almost the same way no matter what direction you run your fingers up and down the hair shaft. And that's because the manufacturer has stripped away some of the cuticle in order to make it smoother and more tangle free. The cuticle in your hair is typically what creates tangles and matting. And so in order to have a good product to offer to you guys, they do remove some of the cuticle. It doesn't mean it's not Remy hair at that point, because some of it is still left on. It feels slightly different, but it doesn't, it's just, I mean, if you go like this, it does feel like there is still some cuticle on there, but it's in no way the same quality as your natural hair cuticle being completely intact. So anyway, that is just kind of some of the things that I've observed and my opinions. Like I said, no company, will advertise that they have silicone on their hair. It's not necessarily known as a good thing, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, at least in my opinion either. But when we're wearing clip-in hair extensions, we just need to be aware of the fact that most likely there is silicone on the hair, and to be prepared to treat it more delicately, and it needs a lot different care than your natural hair does. Don't treat it like your natural hair, because it's not the same. Anyway, so that is kind of my opinion, and I hope you guys get something out of it. And that's kind of it. So until next time, talk to you guys later.